Hi everyone, my name is Liz I Read, and welcome to another video. And today I'm reviewing the book The Duke I Once Knew by Olivia Drake. So this is a historical romance. So this is actually book one in the Unlikely Duchesses series, written by Olivia Drake. This is my first book by this author. But in this one, we follow Abigail Linton, and she's a spinster. She didn't mean for this to happen, but she is the youngest of many siblings, and she was kind of an afterthought. She was kind of an accident. A lot of her siblings are a lot older than her. Like, her oldest brother could be her father, like he's a lot older. The responsibility of taking care of her ailing parents kind of fell upon her, and so she just never got married. She's not that old though, but she's considered a spinster in this era, so she's like in her mid-20s, maybe late 20s, but both her parents have passed now, and her siblings, she has many siblings, each one kind of wants her for their purposes. Unfortunately, they're kind of thinking only of themselves. One wants her to help raise their infant children. Another wants to help their daughter come out in society. She's the helper of the family, you can say. And so she decides, and within the midst of this conversation where the siblings are kind of fighting over her, she decides, you know what, actually, I'm going to become the governess of Maxwell Bryce, who is a duke. He's the Duke of Rothwell, and she heard that there was an opening for the governess position at his home, and so she just decides, I'm gonna do this, which I absolutely loved about her. She's really strong-willed and is willing to just strike out on her own, which I thought it was very admirable of her. So I just liked how strong-willed she was, and she wasn't willing to listen to her family. She was willing to finally do something for herself, because she has been taking care of her parents her entire life, and so she wants to do something for her own and for herself. So she decides to take on this position. The thing that's interesting about this is Maxwell Bryce, who is the Duke of Rothwell, he is actually her old lover. They, not like lover in that sense, but they fell in love when they were teenagers, and then they parted ways, and she is heartbroken over it, and he's also heartbroken. There's a bit of a communication about what happened, but she knows that he's just been living in London this entire time. He hasn't come back to his state, and so she's not really worried about taking on the position or running into him. And so she decides to take this governess position. It is for his sisters, so she's quite young, a lot younger than him, and so she takes this position. Unfortunately, Maxwell ends up showing up with a party. With a group of people. He was going to go to this boxing match, and he's helping one of the boxers. The boxer is competing against an American, and so it's like this big deal, and he's helping him train, and I guess he's supporting him probably financially. And the place they're going to go, everyone is sick, so they have to go to his own estate, and he doesn't want to because he has a lot of bad memories at home. Both his parents have passed since, but the last time he was at this estate, his mother has passed, and so his father took him to London, and so they haven't seen each other in like maybe 15 years. So this is a second chance romance. There is this huge miscommunication of what happened in the past. He is also a rake. He is also a damaged hero. So a lot of tropes there. I really enjoyed this. I really liked seeing the development of their relationship. There was definitely a lot of angst there between the two. And would I call this a love triangle? Maybe. He does bring a mistress. Nothing happens with the mistress, but he was planning on it. So there is a bit of tension between him and the mistress and Abigail, and so I really liked her a lot. She really stood her ground for a lot of things, which I find admirable. Like, I really liked her as a character a lot, and I really enjoyed this one a lot. I liked the second chance romance. I liked seeing their relationship kind of come together. There was a lot going against them, a lot of hurt feelings, but it was kind of a nice, beautiful story seeing them come together and forgiving each other and learning what actually happened. And so I did give this 4.5 stars. I don't know why, but sometimes I'm not a huge fan of historical romance endings. The ending here was just like, it was fine. You know, like it wasn't bad or anything, but I wasn't like blown away either. And this was long. It was a little long. I listened to this on audiobook, so it was 10 or 11 hours, which felt quite long. And there was this plot line with the mistress. So he had a group of people there who were there for the boxing match. And there was kind of this scheming plot that the mistress and this other person had, that they were going to kind of manipulate the situation when it comes to Abigail and Maxwell, because obviously the mistress wants to be with Maxwell. Anyways, there was kind of this scheming plot and nothing really came out of it. It just kind of dropped. Nothing. So I didn't understand why it was there. I felt like there was just too much happening at some points. I think that's why it was a little bit long, but I did really like it. So I gave it 4.5 stars, and I'm excited to read other things by this author. So I do recommend it if you're looking for a historical romance. So that's it for this video. So I'd love to know if you've read this book before. If you have, please comment down below. I'd love to have a conversation with you in the comments. If you have other historical romance recommendations, please leave them down below. I'm always looking for new ones. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you've not done so. You can follow me on Goodreads and Instagram. And you know what? I want you to keep reading. Bye.